From July 8, 1950 until September 14, 1952, Tales of the Texas Rangers was a Western radio drama which ran on the NBC radio network. The show was modeled after the very successful Dragnet program of the time. Although set up as a Western, the show was actually a police drama which used sophisticated scientific techniques to track down and apprehend the guilty party. Also, instead of setting the time frame in the 1800s, which was common for Westerns at the time, the show dealt with modern crimes which occurred in Texas between 1928 and 1948. Now, a little bit about the Texas Rangers. The Rangers originally started in 1823 by Stephen Austin to protect colonists living in the Spanish province of the time. Now called the Texas Rangers Division, and it's a part of the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Rangers have maintained the same operating structure since 1935. Although today there are 150 commissioned officers and other employees that make up that division. Now about the show. The series was produced and directed by Stacy Keach Sr. He would work with real-life Texas Ranger Captain Manuel Lone Wolf Gonzalez, and as the show's advisor, Gonzalez was able to provide realism and accuracy to the stories. 95 radio episodes and one audition episode were created. The audition episode would star Frank Martin, but the run would have the very popular actor Joel McCrea starring as Texas Ranger Jace Pearson. Each show followed the same format. An announcer would describe the situation. When the problem was discovered, the Texas Rangers were called in, and Jace Pearson was assigned. He would take over the story until its resolution, when the announcer would give the disposition of the case, following close to the Dragnet formula. After the run on radio, the show would move to television from 1955 to 1958 with Keach as producer and Captain Gonzalez as the consultant. Willard Parker would play Jace Pearson, and he would be supported by Harry Lauder as Clay Morgan. The TV version was not limited in its time frame as the radio show was, and would jump as far as from the 1840s to the 1950s from week to week. In addition, 22 comic books about the Texas Rangers were published by Dell in a quarterly format from 1952 to 1959. They would have McCrea on the cover of the first 10, and then Parker on the remainder. Information for this synopsis was obtained from John Dunning's The Encyclopedia of Old-Time Radio, from Classic TV Archives, the Internet Movie Database, the Old Time Radio Catalog website, the Western Clippings website, and from the Texas Department of Public Safety. For Old Time Radio researchers, I'm your announcer, Patrick Andre. Enjoy the show.